Welcome to this second online retreat that we call All is Possible. So this is possible, All is Possible number 2. For the ones who are here for the first time, we were suggesting that you go back to the replay of number 1. It's on YouTube. So you have the full benefit of these teachings. And we will be offering initially at least 4 of these All is Possible online retreats. The last one will be in June. So we have all these opportunities to be here in community, spending time together, getting to know new students, doing a little bit of breath work, meditation, sharing about our teachings, etc. But before we get started, I would love everyone to use the chat box to share where you are connecting from. Also, our students, you can share that on the chat box. Because this means that we are activating more points of the grid, of the planetary grid. So we have, oh, it's going fast. Give me a second. We have some from Canada, Rani, Canada, Leslie from Wisconsin, Swana, Wales, Simbel, well, she's in the US, I know, Krista, Canada, Ashaya, Maryland, Shailen, Germany. We have Oregon, that's Kina, Aluna, UK, Annie, Iowa. Should I skip anyone? Sagar, New Jersey, USA. Cheryl, Michigan, USA. We are in the Dominican Republic. We have Maria from Pittsburgh. Good. Quite a variety. Love that. Okay, so for the ones who are new, I'm Gaitana. And together with Yantal, we share the Enlightened Education teachings that we received from the Ascended Masters. And basically what that means is we teach how to prosper in the Golden Age. Do you all feel that we are in a Golden Age, at the dawn of a Golden Age? Do you agree with that? Doesn't seem so sometimes, but still it's happening. Okay, we are transitioning between ages. And we have to, of course, understand the dynamics of creation in this new cycle. So that's what we teach. We have different curriculums from the awakening, empowerment, phases of evolution to enlightenment and ascension. So we have teachings for all the spectrum of energy, all that you're looking for. And our foundational curriculum is what we call the 33 light codes. So it's 33 light codes. They look like affirmations, but they are more profound because they come from unity consciousness. And when we start meditating with the 33 light codes, we start awakening the Christ consciousness. So we shared many times before that Christ is not Jesus. He was one representative of the Christ. We are all Christed beings eventually. We have to actualize that potential. But Christed means the anointed one. Someone who is awakened, activated by the Holy Spirit. And so that's a potential of the Golden Age. And we are all Christed beings walking the earth. Yeah. So to get started, I would love everyone to connect with your hearts. It's very important that we set the intention for this 2-hour online retreat, and then for life, of course. And really checking in with ourselves. What is the motivation for being here? You're making the choice to share 2 hours of your time with us instead of doing other things you could be doing. So there should be a desire for something in your heart. Just become aware. You don't have to make anything up. Just become aware of that desire. What it is that you are looking for, looking to align with, to learn or to remember. Intention is important because we always experience what we are focusing on. If we have the wrong motivation, we will not get anything beneficial from this retreat. But if we are focusing on the right motivation, which is becoming liberated to potentially then liberate others, and there's an altruistic desire in the heart, then most probably what we get from this experience it's going to be very, very rich. So if you're focused on healing, alchemy, liberation, even enlightenment, and it's not just for yourselves, it's because that will then bring benefit to family, friends, community, humanity, planet, that's a good intention in your heart. So someone is asking, is there going to be a intermission within the 2 hours? No. We'll just get going, but we'll have time for meditation, a little bit of breath work. So make sure everyone has a glass of water, so you don't have to go and look for that later. You have something to write down on in case there's some of the teachings or reflections or insights you want to be registering during this transmission. So if someone wants to share on the chat box what your intention is for this 2-hour retreat, we're going to create an alignment. So Diane is asking where I am from, originally from Argentina. Now I'm in the Dominican Republic. So what are the individual intentions? Then we'll share the collective intention for today, the vision for this retreat. Let's start with everyone. So Shailen is saying, embodying and radiating even more love and joy. Aparajita, release all patterns and align with my empowered self. Joy and is good. Swana, being in community, unity to feel this and experience this. Okay, the energy of community. Simbel, expanding the light within and without. Diane, to commit to focusing on the soul offerings. Leslie, learn to connect. Yes, that's one of the goals. Krista, liberation from the illusion of separation from Mother, Father, One. Ashaya, expand consciousness, love and joy. There's a lot of love and joy today. Cheryl, understanding my purpose. Kina, intention to love myself by setting time to connect to the light I am and to connect with other beings of light. So yes, of course, in these retreats, there's an amplification of light. That's the power of collective alchemy. Beautiful. Mabel, understanding, alignment, peace, success, and most importantly, strengthen my connection with God. Yes, that's going to happen today. Lord, healing self further to increase healing abilities to help others and also be surrounded by more peace. Aluna, being in Christ and unity consciousness. Good. Sam, helping me get out of my head pace. Krista, I'm already experiencing a lot of light and joy within this circle of myself, but even more is welcome, always. Joy is infinite. Yes, we want more and more joy. Okay, so I think we are ready to get started. We have the right motivation, all of us. So we said that we basically teach how to prosper in the golden age. Prosperity means that we create the resources that we need to support ourselves on this journey of liberation, enlightenment. We start attracting what is beneficial and constructive. But also prosperity we define as the ability to make progress. We all take embodiment with what we call karmic conditions, ancestral entanglements, ancestral attachments, and all those obstacles that we think are outside of ourselves are actually inside. They are self-created, though we see them through the mirror, through the projection of reality outside of ourselves. So to make progress is to really know internally how to remove the inner obstacles. By first recognizing they are there, what they are, why we are still attaching to them, and how we can truly let go. Okay. So one key for this victory in the golden age, to really make progress in the golden age, is co-creation. We talk a lot about co-creation, yes, and how we're moving from a paradigm of codependency into co-creation. So I want to go deeper into this because this will set the mood for this retreat. Really, co-creation makes everything possible because we are in an age of unity, network, So we have to learn to share. Yes. But the key is that to learn to share with others, to co-create this new civilization based on the principles of love, truth, we have to trust others. We have to trust ourselves to begin with. Not easy most of the times. Trust ourselves, then trust others. And of course, trust God, if we call that God or source or creator, creatrix, yeah, or a higher consciousness. And then we have to not only trust, but we have to surrender to the creative flow. So for all the ones who are here today, do you experience yourself controlling reality a little bit or a lot? Yes, not easy to surrender sometimes. So we have to trust and surrender. They are key. And co-creation really is the key to prosper in the golden age. It's very, very important. So for that, I was saying that we don't have to control the flow of energy. We have to allow it to guide us in the right direction. So instead of us controlling life, we have to allow life to guide us. Yeah. So what is codependency? Codependency would be the shadow of co-creation, right? Codependency is when we shirk our duties. We avoid or neglect our responsibilities. That could be because we are afraid to fail. There could be fear of failure involved. There can be fear of making the wrong choice. There can be lack of confidence, a sense of disempowerment, laziness sometimes, when we give power away. Sometimes we are lazy. There can be fear of exposure. So we leave it on to others to make the visible choices in our lives. There can be lack of discipline also. There's many reasons why we become codependent. But the thing is that we are making others responsible for our growth. Every time we make others responsible, even time, time will take care. Then we're not taking responsibility for our growth and expansion. So this is an age, again, of co-creation in which we have to learn how to take inner responsibility. Inner responsibility. It's up to me to align. It's up to me to want to heal. It's up to me to align with the consciousness of Aquarius, of the golden age. If I keep on waiting for others to solve my life or something magical to happen out there, it's never going to happen. Yeah, we are the source of everything. So co-creation then is the sharing of responsibilities. We start avoiding responsibilities because of all the reasons we mentioned, and there can be even more. And then we learn to share responsibility. That means that everyone needs to take ownership of their assigned part to contribute to a common goal. The victory in the golden age will be aligning with the ones who have the same vision, the same purpose, the same mission, even in life, and learning to share responsibility for the collective creation. It's no longer an age where there will be one savior, one Christ, one guru, one planetary healer. It has to be all of us. Yeah? We have different merits, of course. We have different accumulation of energy, different skills. But it's about sharing our potential. It's sharing all our virtues, our values, and knowing that if we do that together, there's more momentum to manifest the golden age. So then this means that if we have to take inner responsibility, there has to be an inner expansion happening. Inner expansion, when we grow internally, inner expansion precedes material expansion. This is very important. Inner expansion, when we grow and mature, then we can expect material expansion. So that means that to receive more abundance or to materialize more abundance, we need to become more of who we are. We have to be more aligned with our real self. Yeah. So there's a transformation that has to happen inside first. Seek the kingdom first, right? First, find your light, find your essence, find who you are, align with your true self. And from your true self, the abundance will be manifested. We cannot skip that. So the purpose of these online retreats, All is Possible, is to help everyone align with the Aquarian consciousness. We are in the age of Aquarius. The ascended master, who is the hierarch of this age, is Saint Germain and Lady Portia, his twin flame. So it's an age of alchemy, an age of freedom and liberation. It's an age of sovereignty. So to align with the Aquarian consciousness means that we are willing to become sovereign creators of reality. What does sovereign mean? It means reigning over the ego, reigning over the ego, the false identity. Yes, we have to rise above the illusion. That means we have to let go of the attachment to suffering and fear. We cannot hold on to the fear, the illusion of fear and suffering, and be sovereign creators of reality. Yeah? So we will have to relinquish something. What is non-beneficial, we have to let go of something, okay, to transition onto the golden age. And basically, in very concrete terms, this means completely transcending our victim mindset. Anyone familiar with the victim mindset? Yeah. So who would like to define a little bit what the victim mindset is? Because sometimes we don't want to accept that we are showing up from that mindset, right? So I see Simbel there. Simbel, would you like to share? You can unmute yourself. What is the victim mindset, and how do we recognize that operating in ourselves?
Well, there's a lot involved in the victim, and I think it's quite normalized, like, because that's what people just tend to think is, oh, this is how I operate in the world. And it's primarily wanting to blame others, wanting to look outside and say all the causes of my suffering are because of what's happening outside of me. And I think the victim refuses to take responsibility because it's not me, it's you. You know, isn't that the breakup thing? Oh, it's not you, it's me. They say that, but they don't really mean it when someone's breaking up with someone. And it's really feeling lack, feeling limitation, that I can't do this because of blah, 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 all these reasons why I can't do something. And pointing fingers, always pointing fingers, and never pointing at ourselves and going, oh, what is that inside of me? Why is this happening? And I think that's it's very sort of normalized. Like everything in the news wants to blame the politicians, blame somebody else for all the distress that's happening in the world. Car accidents, you know, it's your fault, it's not mine. So yeah, it's just very, very common, this whole concept of not really looking at ourselves as being the creator. Like it's happening to me, not for me.
Exactly. Amazing. She's one of our students, Chilas. She has a lot of clarity around this. So that's exactly it, right? And so we can say then, following what Simbel has been sharing, is that the victim is attached to excuses. Self-justification. There's an excuse for everything, right? And it's never me, as Simbel was saying, it's somebody else bothering me, complicating my life, creating this obstacle, okay? If it were for me, I'm totally liberated already and willing to prosper. So, of course, the invitation is to go back to the source of creation, which is us, it's inside of us. So we are calling this retreat All is Possible. All for us means God, source, creator. So if we say that all is possible in this golden age, it means that God is possible. Alignment with God, internalization of God consciousness is possible. What we call enlightenment, in other words. So this does not mean, we might tend to think, oh, all is possible. So that must mean there will be a magical pill, you know, that will appear in this golden age, that will fix all the problems because all is possible. So saying all is possible is just expanding our consciousness to the possibility that we can overcome all the obstacles in our lives, all our karmic imprints and conditions. But of course, for that, we have to cultivate spiritual leadership. It's not going to happen overnight. We are involved in the process of transformation. Yeah. But basically, when we start cultivating spiritual leadership, we become spiritual leaders. And this does not mean that we teach the Dharma, okay? Even if we are a mother, a father, someone working in a bank, in a company, in a restaurant, we need spiritual leadership anyway. It's for all of us in this golden age. Leadership means that we accept that there are no unfavorable circumstances. There are no unfavorable circumstances. So there's no excuse to be disempowered. Every life experience can be beneficial. It's a matter of how we perceive life events or life experiences. So if we truly desire to become liberated, there are no unfavorable circumstances. That's what we call in our community the victory mindset. It's not being in denial of temporary blockages, but they are impermanent. That's the point. But we can have a choice as to how we use those experiences. How do I perceive them? Will I use that to my own favor? To learn something? To not victimize myself? To become the master of my destiny? Or will I complain about this and this is unfair? Why is this happening? This shouldn't be happening, okay? We create resentment and then we keep on blocking reality. So just imagine, feel inside, if it were true, and it is, that there are no true obstacles to liberation. There are no true obstacles to liberation. It's all in the mind. It's all an illusion. Very real sometimes, but still an illusion. So there are no obstacles. What is there then? There's actually an open field of possibilities. If you connect with your consciousness, that's an open field of possibilities. Why are we not aware of all those opportunities? Because again, we go back to the mind, back to the illusion. We think the illusion is real, and then we suffer. And we lose connection with the field of infinite opportunities. So it's very important to start this retreat to investigate, explore inside. What reality are you focused on? Are you focused on suffering, problems, injustice, constant challenges? Are you focused on exploring this field of possibilities, opening new doors, expanding your consciousness, dissolving all the past momentum that is not serving us anymore? So where is the focus? What are you giving your energy to? First of all, is it outside of yourself, or is your energy, your focus going inside to the source, to the cause of creation? Where is your attention? Where is your focus? Where are you, basically? Where your energy is, you are. So where are you? What are you consuming? External reality? All the problems in external reality? Refining that, making that real? Or constantly reminding yourself, this is an illusion. Again, illusion doesn't mean we deny what's going on in the world, but we can transform it. We can do something about that. It's not permanent. That's what I mean. It's not permanent. Depending on our focus right now, what we are seeing and perceiving right now, that will create our present future. So it's very important to correct the focus. Yeah? Diane here, she's sharing, where we send our energy, reality itself forms. That's how we actually manifest reality. We are focusing energy, light, and that is precipitated onto physical reality, right? So it's very important to understand what we are focusing on. Because we know that what we focus on expands. If I'm focused on limitation, I will create more limitations because I'm saying I want to see more of that. If I'm focused on healing, I will see more healing opportunities. If I'm focused on love, I will start amplifying love in my reality. So that's leadership. We have a good focus, a right motivation. Then we have the disciplines, of course, and we start co-creating our destiny. Because nothing is predetermined. Yeah? There are possibilities, but we have to be co-creating, our destiny. The great potential of the age of Aquarius, when we cultivate this spiritual leadership skills inside, is that we have a direct connection with Source. In the Piscean age, the previous age, we had a connection that was mediated, right? But now we can have a direct connection with Source. That's the end of dogma. That goes beyond dogma, religious dogma, spiritual dogma, human dogma, right? We can have a direct connection. We can feel the presence within. So really, it's an age of inner revelation. How will God, what we call God, divinity, light, how will that reveal to us internally? But how can we receive an inner revelation if we are externally focused, being distracted, entertained, doing things, being hyperactive, working all the time? How can I receive something in me if I'm outside of myself? I will never be able to receive, right? So the great training alignment in this age is to be in the temple, the inner temple, all the time. Even with open eyes, even if we are doing something out there, but we still take refuge in the heart. We still maintain the connection with the heart. Yeah? So that means that Source can communicate with us. I am presence, God, creator, can communicate with us all the time. We call that the inner guidance. But for most people, guidance is coming from the mind. It's not from the heart. Yeah. So it's recreating the belief system, it's recreating the fear, the trauma, the attachment. But when we truly open the heart, and we have to familiarize ourselves with inner temple, we have to go there and stay there enough to really receive the true transmission from Source. Another one coming from the mind because it's convenient, because it feels safe, because we're recreating the past over and over, right? So that's the invitation for this golden age, direct connection with Source, ultimately embodying your presence, what we call the I am presence, Father, Mother, God within. That is possible. It needs, of course, focus, discipline, dedication, but it is possible. It's the most auspicious age to be having this experience. So for the ones who are joining us for the first time, this is All is Possible number 2, second online retreat. In the previous one, we already shared our first light code. So again, the light code, we have 33 to activate the Christ consciousness, crystalline consciousness in all of us, the real self, higher self consciousness. And we already shared the first one in the previous online retreat. I'm going to go over this again. What the first light code does in this path of 33 is it helps us start walking the path of liberation. Because we have to feel worthy of walking the path. We have to know that liberation is possible, that we can really let go of suffering. There's a way to do that. There's a path to do that. We deserve it. And we can start dedicating our life to freedom. Even if we are doing other things out there, we can still dedicate life to freedom, liberation. So the first light code gives us kind of the inner permission to align with the right inner and outer conditions to be able to focus on our path of liberation. So going back to the excuses of the victim. Maybe we have the call, the inner calling. Come on, go towards your freedom. Stop suffering, do the inner healing, do the inner work. And what are the excuses? I don't have time. Later, when the perfect moment comes, when the children are no longer in school or young, you know, or I retire, or we are looking for that perfect moment when we can actually dedicate our lives to the goal of enlightenment ascension, right? So with the first light code, we start giving ourselves inner permission on a soul level, not personality level, with all the attachments and false reasoning. We give ourselves the permission on a soul level to start focusing on liberation. That's what we're here for. We came here to balance karma and to find the path of Dharma. Yeah? Dharma does not mean Buddhism. Dharma is the teachings, the cosmic law, right? So we all came here to find the dharmic path beyond suffering, beyond attachments. But for that, we have to transform inside, right? So the first light code goes like this. It says, I am enlightened consciousness. I am enlightened consciousness. This will shift something. Not the first time we say it, of course. So how do we use the light codes for the ones who are new to our community? A light code is very similar to a mantra in the sense that it gives you an inner focus, a focus of light, not on drama, fear, etc. It's a focus of light. So I am enlightened consciousness. It's a reminder of who you are on a soul level, who you truly are as a divine being, as a light being. So it starts guiding you to your heart, helping you expand your consciousness beyond your current level of awareness or perception of reality, to see what's on the other side of the carnal mind, the human mind, the conditioned mind. What's beyond my conditioning that I have forgotten? So the first one already, I am enlightened consciousness. So if I were to meditate with a light code, I would just chant it a couple of times to create the inner alignment. And then I would rest in awareness, witnessing what the light code starts activating within. It's going to do two things, because the light code is vibration. It's not the words, it's vibration. When I introduce that vibration into my system, body consciousness, it's going to shift and transmute something. It will purify something that is not real in me so that I can let go of my conditioning, and it will activate potential. So it's a very active meditation, actually. We are very receptive. We just receive the light code and its frequency, and we let the frequency guide us. So we witness what's just shifting inside when I focus on that light code, right? Then we will practice today with number 2. This is the one we shared in the previous retreat. So I am enlightened consciousness. This will start doing something else. It will interrupt your thought process. Suppose you've been thinking about your children or the war in some country in the world, or what you have to go buy in the supermarket, or the business meeting you have on Monday, and you're just worried and worried and worried and looping there, right? As you say a light code and you chant it and you take it as a meditation practice, it will interrupt the suffering of the mind, guide you to the heart, and remember, oh, I am enlightened consciousness. I am aware of my consciousness. I'm a conscious being. I'm a divine creator. And now I'm aware of that. So this means I'm more than my physical body. I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my emotions. I am energy, light, consciousness, constantly evolving. So if I am enlightened consciousness, I cannot be stuck. Because one quality of God's source is infinite expansion. God, what we call God, is continually, constantly evolving, growing, maturing, becoming more of the light that it is, right? So I am enlightened consciousness. I'm not the personality I have constructed. I'm not the small self. I'm not the limited being with all its problems and worries and petty things. I'm something bigger. And energy has no boundaries of space-time. So if I am enlightened consciousness, I'm not attached to space and time. So I can actually quantum jump. for example, right? And each light code comes with an affirmation. So the first one is, I am ready to align with my soul purpose, not with my egoic goals in life, my soul purpose, and to access the resources that will allow me to evolve with ease and grace. So that's why we say this is the first light code that helps us start walking the path of liberation. So there's an inner permission to stop walking the ancestral path, obligations where we are supposed to be or become, and have the permission to inquire, to discover who we truly are as light beings. And what is the real direction in life that we have to take? Was it to make more money? To have a better position in the company? To buy more cars, more houses? Was that the goal of life? And then I die and that's it? Was it just to raise a family, have friends, and have good moments? Or maybe there's a higher calling for all of us, right? So we start making that alignment. We start accepting that we are someone beyond the one we are perceiving right now. There's more potential in us that we can be activating. And then we have the inner permission to say, I will not follow my ambitious goals anymore. I'm going to go on a soul journey. Yeah? I discovered that for myself. I am enlightened consciousness. So that's the beginning of our mastery path, which is called Master Your Destiny. So for the ones who are doing Awaken Your Inner Healer or the Sacred Temple of the Heart teachings, what comes next, some can go directly to Master Your Destiny, is Master Your Destiny, the path of the 33 light codes, okay? So for today, this was the introduction, the general context for this retreat. I'll start by invoking our mission protectors. Every mission has protector beings. So I'll just read this. In the name of the I am that I am, we now call forth our mission protectors so that they guard our path, protect our guru mentor, protect our teachings, protect our community. This is what is called the three jewels, the tree rattler. Heavenly and worldly protectors, Elohim and elemental life, archangels and legions of angels, spirit of the great white brotherhood, masters of the ruby ray lineage, help us embody our prosperity consciousness so that we can benefit all sentient life. This is our motivation. Avert the inner and outer obstacles. So all the temptations, all the attachments, all the suffering that could prevent us from revealing our true nature by returning to the I am, to our own guru consciousness, to our own I am presence. As we open the door of humanity, help us dispel all conflict and disharmony, support our constructive endeavors, increase the virtue of auspiciousness, and swiftly show us how to accomplish all our enlightened activities so that we can benefit, so that we can fulfill our global service and be victorious. Guide us as we completely purify our individual planetary karma and consecrate our life to the activity of the light. We vow to use our sacred energy to liberate humanity from samsara. To achieve collective enlightenment and ascension, we pray. To achieve collective enlightenment and ascension, we pray. To achieve collective enlightenment and ascension, we pray. So now we're all in a safe container with all the light beings overlightening this session. And we'll go into our first practice, which is the sacred breath, to connect with our source of infinite perfection. So Shailen, she's one of the life mentors in our community. She will explain this practice and guide this practice for a few minutes.
Yes, so let's just, start this beautiful alchemical practice, because through that, we transform the energy through this sacred breath practice. So it's very simple, yet very, very efficient. It will help you drop into your heart, calm your mind, calm your nervous system, and really reach a point of stillness, then be able to go within. And release at the same time a little bit of density and feel lighter. The goal is to raise the vibration. So let's just start by the basic practice, which is the square breath. So we inhale on the count of 4. We hold the breath on the count of 4. We exhale on the count of 4. And we hold the breath again on the count of 4. Let's just do that once to feel how you experience it with your breath. So empty your lung first. Then inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath down there, 2, 3, 4. So this is how we're going to breathe. And then we add an intention, an inner invocation. We cannot speak it out loud, but because we're breathing, but we think it very clearly in our heart. So as we inhale, we say, I receive. And then we visualize ourselves receiving light from above, from source, and also from below, from Mother Earth. I receive all the light or the highest energy available to me. Then as we hold our breath, we say, I alchemize. And this will be the activity of the light that will start transmuting what does no longer serve you, the density, the stress, the anxiety, or even a specific intention you can set at the beginning of the practice. Then as you exhale, you're going to say, I return. I return all the misqualified energy, so to speak, the density, the stress, all that I want to let go of. And then as you hold your breath on an empty lungs, you say, I re-encode, meaning I re-encode myself into a higher state of being. We really have the power to do that, like a computer. So I re-encode myself into my original state, my original soul blueprint. Yeah? So let's just start. Imagine a beautiful pillar of light in front of you, running along your spine or around it. It can even become a tube of light. And you can set the general intention to let go of all that does not serve your soul growth, for example, or a specific pattern, an energy of fear you want to let go of, you would like to transmute today. You put that into your pillar of light. And then we're going to breathe and do the alchemy together. So empty your lungs and let's start. Inhale, I receive all the light. Hold your breath. I alchemize. Exhale, I return. Hold your breath. I re-encode. Inhale, I receive from above and below. Hold, I alchemize. I am an alchemist. Exhale, I return. All the misqualified energy, the stress. Hold, I re-encode myself into my highest being. Inhale, I receive. Hold, I alchemize. Exhale, I return. Hold, I re-encode. I receive. I alchemize. I return. I re-encode. And I'll try to hold your breath down there a little longer, as long as you can. When you feel ready, you can start breathing slowly again. And feel the shift in your vibration. The mind is still, the body is calmer, And if you do that, for example, at the beginning of your day, it kind of sets the tone for your whole day because you create from within. So if you raise your vibration at first, it's going to help you create in a higher way during the day. So I encourage you to try that every day, just a few minutes. It's still very, very powerful. And the longer you do that, you crave it, but because you feel the benefit very, very quickly, gives you a lot of energy. So I hope you experiment with that in the next few days.
Thank you, Shailene, for that. And I see here 2 questions on the chat box. Do we insert something at the end of each? And is it always the same? So I think as Shailene guided this, I think that became clear. So it's the square breathing, but we are adding these intentions because it's an alchemical process that we are starting with this breath. And then Sam is asking, is it possible to do this in a different way? It's hard to hold your breath when you have no air. Absolutely. We'll break it down now. Diane is saying, thank you, Shailene. And Sam is saying, can you put these affirmations I have already on the chat box, what they relate to, and put the action to it in the chat, please? Duration of the technique and best time. So, of course, this it depends on your breathing capacity and how deep you want to go, because this starts shifting energy really. So let's go through the process very briefly again. When we inhale, we are saying, I receive. But it's not something that we think inside. We actually feel that we are receiving energy. You can make it very concrete. I'm receiving more peace. I'm receiving more abundance, forgiveness, health, whatever you need that day. You're replenishing yourself consciously. Okay, so I receive. Then you hold, because you want to keep and preserve the energy in you to start the alchemical process. So I alchemize, something we start shifting inside. Every time you inhale and you bring new energy to the system, something happens there, okay? So you just witness what happens there when you hold. Then, of course, the alchemy started. You want to let go of all that is not beneficial. So I return, I give that back to source, alpha, on omega, great central sun, whatever you believe in. Just let go of that, all the attachment to the dense energy. That's called a purification process that happens inside. And then again, you hold and you re-encode. Re-encode means that after this process, you will just be breathing, you think, but all this is happening inside. It means you have a new foundational reality. You are shifting frequency. So something is re-encoded after enough practice. So you can do it 5 minutes, you can do it 10 minutes, as long as you feel that any form of density you have been feeling at the beginning of the practice is gone. It has been transmuted, okay? So for the ones who have any breathing challenge right now, you say, I can't really breathe very deeply, I have superficial breathing, or I cannot breathe for so many moments consciously. Let's break down the practice to something simpler even. So you can start with the sacred breath as Shailene guided it. That's very, very beneficial. Or let's do it in 2 steps. So we'll be inhaling, receiving energy, light, crystalline light, pure light, and then exhaling and letting go of inner toxicity. So if it helps, you can visualize a white crystalline light when you inhale, and kind of a dark light or anything that for you represents toxicity in the body. That's what you're releasing with the out breath. So let's try it out in these 2 steps. And before, there are other comments. So Kina is saying, inhale and say, I receive more peace and health. Hold and think, I alchemize. Exhale, say, I return. Hold and say, I re-encode. And there's another comment. This is very peaceful and I feel stress moving out of my mind and body. That's the purpose. What is biggest transformation happens to you through this breathing? So much. Basically, we are going into the 4 lower bodies. 4 lower bodies are the etheric body, the memory body, where we have all the memories and records on a soul level, mental body, emotional, and physical. So the breath penetrates all those bodies, creates more balance, starts the emptying process of those bodies of harmful, fearful records, so that we can find more alignment, more inner peace, be more in the present moment, okay, and fill our bodies with light versus trauma, okay, of fear. So let's do it in the 2 steps only. So we inhale and feel that when we inhale, there's light coming and energy coming from the crown chakra down the base of the spine. That's all the time we need for the inhalation. And then we exhale from the base of the spine up the crown chakra. So we inhale crystalline light, going down the inner pillar to the base of the spine, clearing, clearing, clearing. Exhale all the toxicity, the one we are aware of or unaware of. So 2 steps. Inhale, fill yourself with light. Exhale. You can even visualize like black smoke coming out of your system, anything that is visual that can help you. Yeah. The whole purpose is to illuminate, purify, and activate the chakras. We have these wheels of energy along the spine. That's why we breathe through the inner pillar, the central channel, Sushumna channel. Yeah. So we're activating all the chakra system. The chakras in us receive energy, cosmic energy, and then we feel replenished. Okay. And as we receive this energy, we flush out all that is not beneficial anymore, all that is unhealthy, creating dis-ease on all the bodies, right? So let's inhale light. If you can do it through the nose, better. But if you have to use the mouth, okay, do that. And exhale. So light is coming in. Black smoke, darkness, density is coming out. Inhale. Exhale. Light coming in. Darkness, density coming out. Once more. And for the ones who have any, breathing challenge, you see, as you practice more and more, you will familiarize yourself. You will want to, bring more air into the lungs, and it's a process, okay? So ideally, you inhale, exhale through the nose if you can. That purifies the system a lot. So the other practice we are going to share that we do extensively in our community is the forgiveness prayer. What creates most blockages in our life and does not allow us to make progress is resentment, guilt, very similar, self-punishment, self-condemnation, feeling that we did something wrong and we cannot forgive ourselves for that. That creates a blockage right there. It can be, again, in the etheric body, mental, emotional, and or physical. So with the forgiveness prayer, we are looking to bring to conscious awareness, it's going to come from the subconscious, all the things we're not forgiving ourselves for. That means we have an entanglement with the past. We are still there, even if we're physically here, we're still there thinking or feeling something from the past, and we cannot move on. So just be very innocent in the process. Don't go look for something in particular. Don't make anything up. Just allow any record of guilt or any record of resentment or something that has not been forgiven come to the surface. You're going to just witness that, welcome it to this present moment, become aware. We have on our website also a 21-day forgiveness challenge. We do this for 21 consecutive days to create momentum of mercy and compassion. And I see here Ashaya that she's saying she has a quick reference for the sacred breath that she can share if needed. So Ashaya, would you like to share before moving on to the forgiveness prayer? Because the sacred breath and the forgiveness prayer go hand in hand. They are complementary practices. So Ashaya, oh, she's sharing a PDF there with the steps of the sacred breath. Thank you for that. Amazing. So I invite everyone to visualize. If you're visual, if not, don't worry. Visualize a violet ray, violet energy coming into your consciousness body. Have a violet flame, have a violet ray, or surround yourself with a violet vortex of energy all around you. We're going into a vortex of alchemy. We know that we cannot create or destroy energy, we can just transform it, guide it to a more evolved state, right? So alchemy means evolution. We are evolving ourselves through shifting energy, transmuting energy. So without grasping anything, clinging onto anything, looking for anything, just allow any pattern that is ready for transmutation to come to your conscious awareness. What am I holding on to that I'm unaware of? I'm only aware in this moment. That could be beneficial to forgive. Forgive does not mean to say it was okay, I liked it, I would do it again and repeat it. On the contrary, we become aware that it's not beneficial. We don't have to keep on torturing ourselves in the same way. That's it. It was one experience. We don't have to recreate it over and over and over. We can't let go. So if you're holding on to guilt, shame, fear, resentment, of course we cannot make progress in life. Yeah, we cannot advance. So take a few moments. You can write it down for yourselves. You can feel it in your heart. What am I blaming myself for, or others for, or life, or God for? And unless I let go, I'm entangled to that. I'm trapped. I'm stuck. Yeah? And I will ask you, Shailen, if you can type there the forgiveness prayer for the ones who are new on the chat box before we go into that. So I forgive myself, and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself, and I bless my creator. This is a combination of compassion, forgiveness, and blessing. Blessing means an increment of light. I deserve more light. Yeah? So I forgive myself for all the unconscious behavior, from my first embodiment till this one. Yeah? I forgive myself. I didn't know better. I was not aware of what I was doing. So I can let go. And I forgive all of creation, all the creation of fear, of course, all the unconscious, codependent, let's go back to codependency, all the codependent decisions, all that I did out of fear, because I felt disempowered, because I was disconnected, because I was not present, because I was unaware of my potential, and I compromised, okay? That's the only thing I knew to do in that moment, but I can forgive myself. So bring to conscious awareness anything that you're ready to forgive right now. Because punishing yourself will not help, okay? It won't correct anything. And then we'll give the forgiveness prayer 9 times with meaning, not something you repeat automatically. You just mean it, okay? And see what this starts shifting inside. I forgive myself, and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself, and I bless my creator. I forgive myself, and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself, and I bless my creator. I forgive myself, and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself, and I bless my creator. I forgive myself, and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself, and I bless my creator. I forgive myself, and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself, and I bless my creator. I forgive myself, and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself, and I bless my creator. I forgive myself, and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself, and I bless my creator. I forgive myself, and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself, and I bless my creator. I forgive myself and I forgive all of creation. I bless myself and I bless my Creator. This is a prayer that was given to us by Saint Germain. It's an activity of the violet flame. We said that Saint Germain is the hierarch of this golden age. So this an aspect of his technology to go delete records, karmic records faster, so that we can become liberated. So now stay in the frequency of compassion, mercy, forgiveness. This violet flame in you, around you. Understand the lesson that you had to go through. Wisdom will help you find purpose in that experience versus blaming yourself or others for that experience. Everything is perfect. You had to go through that. It was not bad. It was not meaning to hurt you on purpose. You had to learn something. What was the lesson? So then you take the pearl of wisdom from the lesson, right? And with the pearl, you move on. For the ones who maybe come from a religious upbringing, and you have all this mindset that I'm a sinner, I'm a sinner, I'm a sinner. That's not true. I want to tell you that's not true. Please. We just made unconscious choices, yes, and we have to balance that karma, yes. And for that, we have alchemical tools. Yeah? But we are always loved by our Creator. That's why if we forgive ourselves, God always forgives. We have to forgive ourselves, right? If we forgive ourselves, we then receive the blessing. Don't you all want a blessing to move forward? Self-punishment doesn't help. Self-condemnation. The masters say, when you are condemning yourself, you're outside the circle of the masters. They can't help you because you're very busy blaming yourself and punishing yourself. So they cannot intercede there. They have no space, no room, okay? You're in your pity party, they're just witnessing, okay? Till you're done, and then they can come in and say, can I step in? Can I help you? So allow the violet flame to go as deep as it can go today. And Ashaya, she's another life mentor. Ashaya, if you're willing, I know you have a lot of experience with the violet flame. Would you like to share a little bit in your experience, how you go about it, how often you do it during the day, how many times, and what are possible benefits of doing this on a daily basis? So you can unmute yourself and share it, please.
Sure. It's probably one of the most powerful practices that I've learned. And it is something that I do use daily. I do the practice in the evening, so it's the 15-minute practice. But in addition to the violet flame practice, the forgiveness prayer, now that's something that I do throughout the entire day, because that's something that's really nice to have in your back pocket. So if you ever experience any frustration or impatience or even negativity, the forgiveness prayer is always helpful. Just you can say it when you're waiting in the long line at the grocery store, or someone cuts you off in traffic, or the forgiveness prayer is great for that. But for the serious alchemical work, the violet flame, it actually, you can feel it like speed up your vibration. You can actually feel like the heat, the warmth come through you. So it actually, you can actually feel it doing the transformative work with you when you're actually when you keep repeating the mantras and things like that. So again, I do believe that this is probably one of the most powerful tools that we have that are readily available to us and that we can use every single day.
Absolutely. So you can choose to do, let's say, 15 minutes a day of the forgiveness prayer. We use malas. You can do a full round of mala, to really give yourself some time and momentum to clear those densest records. And remember that the violet flame is the cosmic eraser. Wouldn't you love to know that you can go delete records, like police records even? You can go delete those records. That does not mean saying this never happened, but it did happen. I accepted, I learned from that, I matured, I grew from that experience. I don't have to recreate it anymore. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's all experience, okay? It's all experience. So that's what the violet flame is for, the forgiveness prayer is for. It's very short. And unless we make space and empty ourselves, we cannot receive blessings. We can't receive anything, basically, okay? Because we are full. So if you combine the sacred breath with the forgiveness prayer, that's a very, very powerful daily practice. Lori's saying, I am the violet flame. I am the power to transmute all that is not of the light. Absolutely. Yeah. That's the spirit of alchemy. Absolutely. So now we're going into the circle of healing mentors. There are a few ascended masters that we mentor with for healing in particular. There's many more we mentor with for other reasons, but these are healing mentors. So I invite everyone to close your eyes if you prefer. Take a deep breath. So sorry, Sam is saying, do we say the violet flame before everything? So a very good moment to do the violet flame is either at the beginning of the day, so you clear your records for the day, and because karmic records descend at dawn, so you start the day kind of clearing all the obstacles, or in the evening before you go to bed, you kind of revisit all your day, you take inventory of what happened, and then you give it the violet flame to erase all that and take it to the next level. And of course, all the times during the day that you want to give it, of course, it's always beneficial. So let's go into the circle of healing mentors. We can close our eyes. You can start connecting with a green ray, emerald green ray of energy. Green is associated with healing. And we will invoke Master Hilarion. He's a master of the fifth ray of truth, precipitation, abundance, and health. Don't worry if you don't know who these beings are, you will get to know them. So Master Hilarion, we invoke him in the north, just before us. To the right, we invoke Green Tara and Amoga City. They are two Buddhas. They belong to the Karma family. Karma means action. To the south, we invoke the Holy Family. So for today, Mother Mary. To the left, we invoke the Medicine Buddha. These are Christic Buddhic initiations we are going through. The Medicine Buddha. He has the medicine for every single challenge and person on this planet. And at the center, Archangel Raphael. So these are all beings, masters or cosmic beings or ascended masters devoted to healing. For us, healing is going back to the truth of who we are. It's not healing a stomachache, though we say that's included, but it's going back to the alignment with the real self, the Christ self, the higher self in us. So true healing means facing the lies of the ego, the dweller, the imposter in us, so that we have an opportunity, a chance to let go of all that is illusionary, false, fake, conditioned, and we can remember who we are in the inner planes of being. Each one of these masters chose to give us one gift. So in the previous online retreat, we invoked Master Hilarion. He has been our mentor for many years, and he gave us the gift of truth. He has the mantra, truth above all else. That's the motto in our community, truth above all else. There's no co-creation without truth on all parts, right? We have to be truthful, authentic, honest. But today, the ones who chose to be giving us another gift are Amoga City and Green Tara. And the gift is the gift of fearlessness. Could anyone use that gift, becoming fearless? We can all use this right now, right? So many things going on internally, externally. So the gift of fearlessness. These two Buddhas represent what is called the subduing activity. Subduing the inner demons. Is anyone familiar with the subduing activity, what that means? So there's an inner fear, a demon, an obstacle, something that is seemingly stopping us from realizing who we are, or prospering, or creating more abundance, or loving ourselves more, or healing. And we get to subdue those demons. To say, enough is enough, you shall not pass. You are not real. You will not convince me of this fear. You're not going to affect me. I will start pacifying, mastering this fear. In other words, neutralizing the obstructive forces from within. Not changing anything outside, because there's nothing outside, ultimately. Just neutralizing the obstructive fear force inside. Not giving power to the fear. Because you realize it for what it is, fear. It's just dense energy. It's a pocket of dense energy, a package of dense energy. So it's very important to make the distinction here between calming down when we are afraid. That serves us temporarily, but the fear will come back. So when we numb ourselves, calm ourselves down, get distracted, yes, it seems to go away just because we are distracted, but it's going to come because the record is there, the imprint is there, the memory is there. So there's a difference between calming down to manage the fear and removing the imprint of fear. Can you see the difference, everybody? Everybody? Yeah, so when we remove that, we forgive and forget. There's no anchor point anymore. So we can go back to that memory. As long as the memory is in the etheric body, we will recreate it. We are not done with the alchemical process. So of course, to be subduing the inner demons, what we are afraid of, we have to take refuge in the heart. If we are truly in the heart, we cannot be afraid. There's no fear in the heart. There's no fear in the heart. That's why we take refuge there. And what is the typical human strategy when we are afraid? It's a fight or flight approach in the reptilian brain, the reptilian response, fight or flight. But basically what we do is to get more tense, don't we? When we are afraid, we become more tense, we contract more, we shut down, we get more protective mechanisms, defense mechanisms, compensation mechanisms. What if you could relax in the presence of fear? Sounds counterintuitive, but it's very intuitive. What if you could relax in the presence of fear? So start feeling any fear that is in you right now. You know it's not real, but it's still there anyway. And you say, oh my God, I cannot make this choice. I cannot move on. This is happening to me. I'm afraid of speaking to this person. I'm afraid of whatever. What are you afraid of right now? First of all, start to find the location of the fear. Where is that fear right now? Is it in one of the chakras, in a part of your body, in your memory body? It's an idea. Trace down that fear. Where is it coming from? Most of the fears are about the future. It's not yet here, but we're still afraid of what's going to happen in the future we're imagining. And the typical fear is, I'm going to be out of resources. I won't be provided for. I won't be supported. I will run out of time, money, energy, patience, whatever I need. I won't have enough. So where is that fear located? Is it in the etheric body, mental, emotional, or physical right now? Of course, it's in all of them. But from your perspective, where is the fear now located? If you believe the fear to be true, you will get concerned. You will be worried. And if you're worried in the present, in the now moment, what's going to happen in the future? More abundance or no more abundance? No more abundance, right? Because tension does not create more. It obstructs everything. It obstructs the flow of creation. So that's what the ego wants to create. Be worried, be tense, so that you don't create more abundance. And then it proves itself right. See, you didn't create abundance, you should be worried. Of course, because I'm tense. Yeah. So see if you can relax in the presence of that fear. You don't want to fight it. You don't want to change it. You don't want to fix it. You just relax in the presence of the fear right now. The thought may still be there. I won't have enough. I won't have enough. I won't have enough. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I just relax. And you might be thinking, oh, that's not responsible. I should be worrying, right? Did that help you? No. So see if you can relax. And also realize that you can't run away from your fears because you are creating them. If you try to leave them for tomorrow, procrastinate. If you try to run away from them, if you try to deny them, to minimize them, they are still there because you are creating those fears or attaching to them at this point. Maybe you have already created them, but now you're attaching to them, not letting go, not conceiving of a reality without fear. Can anyone here conceive of a reality without fear? Or seems like a fairy tale? Like, no, that doesn't happen to human beings. We have to suffer. We have to be afraid. Can anyone really feel into a reality without fear? Could that be possible? Or we are doomed to be afraid all the time? So if you realize, so Lord, thank you, says, in time, I see it possible. So all is possible. She's already connecting with the leadership mindset. All is possible. Maybe it will take a little bit of time, but it is possible. Very healthy approach. So if you all really become aware that whatever you're afraid of right now, you are creating it in your mind. You're choosing to believe in that as if it were true, solid, concrete, permanent. Start just witnessing that fear. And start inquiry, exploring inside. What if this is not true? What if I was using this as an excuse not to become more empowered, to thrive, to accomplish what I desire? What if it's part of my self-sabotaging mechanism? But I never realized I could sabotage myself this way. And I can stop doing that because it's not beneficial. So what is the benefit of attaching to that fear and believing it's true? Am I buying time? Do I think that if I victimize myself, eventually I will exhaust that experience and the fear will go away because it will get tired of me, or I'll get tired of the fear? Unless you challenge that, not fight it, challenge that, illuminate it, pierce through the fear, it's going to stay. So whatever the fear might be in this moment, you can subdue it, you can neutralize it. You can stop reacting to that fear as if it were real. And you can make the choice to become liberated. That's actually not true. So every time you inhale and exhale, see if you can let go of the grip, of the attachment to fear. Let it go, let it pass. Energy is not supposed to be stuck somewhere. It's supposed to flow. So give your fear to the flow of energy. When you inhale, exhale, you can visualize your inner pillar of light, that inner column of light, of energy. Give it to the inner pillar. This fear I was identified with. There's an identity now. I'll give it to the inner pillar of light. Because what will light do with that? Neutralize it. Fear cannot stay in the presence of light. Because for the light, from the perspective of the light, the fear is ridiculous. It's absurd. You will really see it's not there, it's not real. So give all your fears to the light. Or if you want to visualize a green fire, give it to the fire. For that to be consumed. Just because you make the choice not to suffer anymore. And that's the gift of the healing mentors. You can let go of fear. You can. Make the choice. You can. All is possible, after all. So we'll move on to the second light code. Remember, the first one is I am enlightened consciousness. The second one is I am integrity. We are still in the circle of fire, this healing circle, with all these ascended masters. I will create the inner attunement with a second light code. I am integrity. I am integrity. Integrity means two things: honesty, truth, right? And also that we start integrated our fragmented aspects. All that we see outside of ourselves, we start bringing closer to the source, to the cause of creation. I am integrity. So most people are attached to a mindset of duality, me and the world, inside, outside, subject, object. There's separation in the universe between me and what I perceive. But with integrity, I start that unification process so that I can start realizing that all that I see, all that is around myself, the reality I am creating is me. My parents is me. My friends, that's me. Where I live, that's me. The situations that I'm creating, that's me. There's no division between internal, external reality. I am integrity. And the affirmation is, I feel abundant because I am aligned with the frequency of love truth. And when I trust that I can realize my highest vision, I'll say it again, sorry. I feel abundant when I am aligned with the frequency of love truth, and when I trust that I can realize my highest vision. So going back to all is possible, right? As I respect myself, my higher self, my reality becomes impeccable. As I respect myself, my reality becomes impeccable. Every time I believe in fear, every time I believe in the lie, I'm not respecting my higher self, obviously. I'm believing in what the small self, the ego, is saying. So then I see chaos. There's a world I have to protect myself from, right? But if I respect my inner guidance, my higher self, my highest vision, my potential, the truth of who I am, my reality becomes impeccable. There's order, divine order in my reality. So I am integrity requires, that's why we did the forgiveness prayer before, requires compassion. Because it's a reason why we fragmented ourselves. We pushed out of ourselves all the things we didn't want to take responsibility for. We couldn't face, we couldn't accept, right? But now we are saying, I want to unify myself with everything and everyone. So that requires compassion, non-judgment, no condemnation. The compassion to stop suffering from being separate, separate from source, separate from love, separate from abundance, separate from faith, from power, from wisdom. And start realizing inside that suffering is not the way to source. Suffering is not the way. Allow that to really, really sink in. Suffering is not the way. Suffering creates more suffering. Cause effect, right? Compassion creates more compassion and then more liberation. But if I hold on to fear and suffering, what can I expect to be experiencing in the present future? More opportunities to be afraid and suffer, because that's my focus. And the universe understands I want more of that because I'm not done with those lessons. Yeah. So we have our own curriculum of enlightenment, liberation, ascension. We get to say when we are done with a lesson. Unless we say, I'm done, God, source, creator, I am, the universe will keep on sending us those experiences our way. To say, you know what, I'm done. I think I got this one. I'm ready for more. I'm ready for a new experience. But we have free will. So we decide when we pass the exam on a certain level, right? The masters will guide us, source will guide us. But we have this inner feeling when it's true that this perfect timing to move on. Even if I keep going through this experience over and over, I will learn no more. It's more of the same. I'm looping. So do you all have a sense that you are looping? Anyone having that sense? I'm looping? I can't get out. I feel stuck, revisiting the same experience over and over and over again. And no matter what I do, keep on looping. So let's go to this source code. Let's take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Feeling the energy, the air coming down your pillar of light, ascending, descending through the pillar, activating all the chakra system, finding a deeper connection through that inner pillar. And just allow the vibration of the light code to descend. Like it's open your crown chakra, feel that it comes down your crown chakra, going to the base of your spine and up again. I am integrity. Forget about the words right now, go to the pure vibration of the code. I am integrity. I am integrity. And just witness what the code wants to purify, to release, to empty, to interrupt so that you stop creating that. and what it wants to be awakening, activating inside. Every light code is a reminder of who you are as a Christed being, as a higher self being here on planet Earth. I am integrity. Just keep that inner focus. I am integrity. You keep on breathing consciously. I am integrity. So we basically suffer because we are in separation. And then we have to protect ourselves from an external world that we don't understand and we perceive is attacking us, right? If I am integrity and all that I see around myself is me, representations, fractals of my consciousness, can I be afraid of myself then? What I'm saying is I'm afraid of myself because it's all me, reflections of me, mirrors of me. So whatever I'm judging in others about reality, I'm judging about myself. Whatever I'm not forgiving others for, I'm not forgiving myself for those same things. Whatever I cannot love out there, I cannot love within. So then reality just becomes a mirror. That's it. To show me how to go back to my real self. But for that, I have to accept all those mirrors around and see no more separation. So even with the fears, I'm afraid of the fear because it's separate from me. So I don't know it. I don't know its intentions with me because it's outside. What if I am the fear also? And I integrate the fear. Oh, it's in me. And I'm still alive, so shouldn't be so worried. I am that fear. So then I'm not so afraid because I know it. It's in me. And I can go neutralize it. As long as we keep things outside of ourselves, we cannot heal. We cannot transform anything because it's outside. We have no power over external reality. We only can take dominion over our inner reality. For that, we have to bring everything in. That person you hate, bring it in. It's in you. It's an aspect of self-hate. That person you cannot forgive. What are you not forgiving yourself for? That thing, it can be abundance, prosperity that you feel separate from. Bring it closer, it's inside. All the codes of creation are inside. We have to unlock them. We are all potential sovereign creators. We have all the codes of prosperity inside. But we have to go within to unlock that technology. It's a technology, right? It's dormant right now. We have to awaken, activate that. I am integrity. I am integrity. I am integrity. What if I can open my heart to all creation, starting with my immediate creation? It can be my home and my family, my friends, co-workers. What if I open my heart to all of that, all of them? Because I am that. So that means I'm opening my heart to myself even more. That means I'm loving myself more by not rejecting any aspect of creation and having the wisdom and compassion to unify myself with everything, everyone. Because I'm no longer afraid of anything or anyone, because it's all me. And I want to know more about myself. I want to discover myself more. So then I want more connections with myself and others. Because everyone is an aspect of me that I want to learn about. I want to discover. I want to learn to love. So I'll bring it closer and closer and closer. And that's how we start neutralizing the fear. The fear pushes away everything. Even abundance, we can be afraid of abundance. We will push it away. And then we say, oh, I never attract the right resources. Where are they? They're around. But this is all this fear, that is rejecting those resources. So we have to go to neutralize the fear. As long as we are reactive and we hold on to the fear and resentment, we are not very receptive or magnetic, obviously, right? So we want to become more magnetic to love, truth, to light, to absorb more light, to be a magnet of light. Wouldn't you like to be a magnet of light versus push away all that you desire? So for that, we have to neutralize the fear and grow in love. Love is magnetic. Inner devotion is magnetic. Forgiveness is magnetic. Receptivity is magnetic. Openness is magnetic. I am integrity. So if I am fragmented, of course, I will see a world of fear and things not happening. I am fragmented. Or I am integrity, is my choice. I am integrity. What would happen if I start integrating all my creation? So I can live the dream of fragmentation and think that's real and suffer and become paranoid about reality because everything is dangerous and I can't trust anyone and everyone is attacking me and I cannot have loving relationships and I can't prosper and I cannot make more resources, create more resources. Or I become more balanced, more magnetic, connected to everything and everyone, is the interconnectedness of creation. And I am integrity. And I start going back to unity consciousness. I am integrity. So pick one situation, person, experience in your life you feel separated from because you are judging, because you're afraid, because you think that is harming you or hurt you. Choose that experience, person, relationship that gives you the excuse, oh, I cannot open my heart, I cannot trust because they are so bad, so mean. I would love to trust, but they, right? And we are playing that game. Instead of saying, I'm afraid to trust, I'm afraid to open my heart. I'm judging, right? So go to the core of judgment. Who are you judging? What are you judging? Don't be afraid to go there. You're going to dissolve that. And see if you can discover what is creating separation with that person or situation. It's not them. It's what you are perceiving about them that you have to defend from. Yeah. See if you can identify that. What am I believing that is creating separation? Hiding my fear of trusting and surrendering. So I have a good excuse now. And go into the judgment. What am I choosing to believe about that person and situation? Are they to blame for the fact that it didn't open my heart? Really? Do they have power over my reality or heart? Or the cause is within? And see if today you can find reconciliation with that part. Maybe what I was perceiving is not entirely true. It served the victim in me. It was coming from a traumatized aspect of self, of the small self. I can let go and create something entirely different today. And as you change, that will change, I assure you. So what form of separation, what expression of separation would you like to be liberated from today? That means you have to stop believing that, giving energy to that. Because that is there because you're giving energy to that. You're sustaining that with your energy and attention, right? You can withdraw the energy and say, no more. I'm not feeding this reality anymore. Because it's not serving me. It's not helping me create more abundance. And you eventually find that that separation is not even with the person or situation outside of yourself. It's within. It's something you cannot accept, embrace within. That person is just representing that outside. What aspect of my higher self am I fighting? What is it that I cannot give to myself? More love, more patience, more compassion, more space, more healing, more resources, co-creators in my life, loving relationships, mature relationships. I'm the source. So I'll start being a source of love, a source of unity. I'll see how my world shifts as I shift, because the world is a consequence of my inner state. I am integrity. Let's take a deep breath. Internalize all the energy that we have activated today. Don't go to your mind to start to understand what happened. Just receive. The energy will guide you. You have all received exactly what you needed today. Just embrace it, trust that you receive the right perfect medicine for the soul today. And as we start coming back to this now moment, being fully present, being grounded again in this new frequency, we want to share a few next steps. Some are already in our community and they are being trained in our teachings. So we have many things going on. The first thing, for the ones who resonate with what we are sharing and you want to join our community and receive these enlightened education teachings and mentor with the Ascended Masters, the first step would be an introductory session with any of our life mentors. So right now, Ashaya, Swana, and Shailen are the ones who are offering introductory sessions for free, just for you to get to know them, get to know our community and teachings, and maybe discover for yourself what is more beneficial to deepen your healing journey. And then Ashaya, would you like to share a little bit of the Heal to Prosper Wednesday transmissions?
Sure. We launched this program back in January, and it's a free weekly program that's live on YouTube on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And we've just created this beautiful sacred space, and you have the opportunity to interact directly with us, Gaitana, our leader, our mentor, and our beautiful community life mentors, Shailin, Swana, and me. And during these live weekly transmissions, we offer live exchanges. There's no editing. I mean, this is live and in the moment, so that you receive spontaneous frequencies that are available in the now moment. So that's a great experience. And we get to explore the gifts and challenges of spiritual awakening and empowerment. And we inspire you to embark on an inner journey of self-empowerment. And we support you in your healing and leadership journey. So we also have some exciting news. We just started a brand new series that's devoted to the sacred temple of the heart. So each week we'll be exploring the teachings that can help you open the different chambers of your heart. So some examples are divine awareness, divine responsibility, divine service, divine evolution, divine neutrality, and divine health, so that you can take refuge in the inner temple and you can dissolve your fears and perceptions, lack and limitation. So it's a live course, and in itself, these teachings, we have robust discussions, and you can even ask questions live. So that's why we say it kind of mimics the environment of a live place. So we invite you to join us on Wednesdays at 3 p.m., and we look forward to seeing you there live. Thank you.
So that's on YouTube. You just join our YouTube channel. You connect at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And we are going into the chambers of the heart, as Shaya was saying, giving you a sample of what that feels like and all the spiritual leadership teachings that we share with our community. So that's one thing going on for free. You just join us there, or you go back to the replay. They are all on YouTube. Heal to Prosper, they are called. There are going to be 21 transmissions in all. It's kind of a curriculum in itself, right? And then there's the Awaken Your Inner Healer. That's a first step where you start a course. It's a 4th-week course, 1 month. So Swana, would you like to share about that? It started yesterday, but you can go to the replays.
Yes. So we had our first session yesterday, and it was beautiful. And Shellen and myself are leading it, and it is just to bring you in, especially if you're at the beginning of this process of entering inside, and you want assistance and more support and practices just to help build that inner momentum inside, and to assist you as well with building your own practice, because it's so important that we start to discipline ourselves in a way so that we're less attracted to the distraction and we are more attracted to what we're building inside, because you're building a temple. You build your inner temple inside. And so there are these beautiful practices that are shared, and they're over 4 sessions every Saturday. As Gaitana was saying, 1 has already been, but you are more than welcome to go back and watch that, and then join us for the next 3. And we also introduce you gently into deeper wounds, inner child wounds, and these are just the beginning of the process of taking a look at these wounds on a deeper level. And then, if you so choose, after this 4 sessions, you get the opportunity to move forward onto the Sacred Temple of the Heart teachings, and they take you even deeper and deeper again into these chambers within the heart. But Awaken Your Inner Healer is a lovely introduction, so you can discover what you're feeling, how far you want to take things, if you want to develop further, and also just to get to know Shellen and myself as well. So it's just a really beautiful jumping point, really, so you can discover how far you want to take your own inner discovery with us then, and in a supported environment.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing is that our life mentors have been training for us for either 2 or 3 years around that time. So they've gone through all the processes, they are doing all the trainings, they know this firsthand. They're not just reading from a book or anything, it's their direct experience they are sharing with you, supporting you in this journey of starting with, we all start with unworthiness, all of us in the journey, and then we convert that into worthiness, dignity, abundance, and then we start creating from the heart, right? So Awaken You in a Healer is just 4 Saturdays in this case. Hopefully we will be offering this every month, but you can jump in right now and go to that course and go to the replays. And then if you go really are committed to going really, really deep and opening all the petals of the heart and going to all those chambers. Shailene, would you like to share about the Sacred Temple of the Heart offer? It's a longer course. Are you there, Shailene? Maybe she's not connected. Okay, so I can share about that. So basically, you know that the heart chakra has 12 petals. It's called petals, okay? They're these wheels of energy. So then we access what we call the chambers of the heart. There are 13 because it's a secret one. And as we go into those chambers, we start developing leadership skills. So Ashaya mentioned a few of those, right? So to take refuge there, to go from the mind to the heart, to take responsibility for creation, to create more loving realities. That's a 3-month course. And it's for the ones who really want to go deeper. And then you can even share those teachings with others and guide others through healing journeys. But first we have to go ourselves there, right? So that's the Sacred Temple of the Heart teachings. And on Wednesdays in the live transmissions, we already share a little bit about that, but that's a small sample, okay? Our life mentors have all the material to guide you in those journeys to the heart. It's very profound, very exciting. Things shift. I saw Krista here today. She's one taking the course, the Sacred Temple of the Heart course. Krista, if you're still connected, I'm not sure if you're connected. Yes, you are. If you want to unmute yourself and share from your experience as a student of the Sacred Temple of the Heart teachings, how you're navigating this process. They're halfway the course, but if you want to share anything, we would love that.
Yes, I do. I actually just finished sending a private message to Ashaya, just commenting on how it's another moment of Kairos divine timing for me to be able to join today live, and for just the layers of what came in the transmission just settle so beautifully on top of what we did in our Sacred Temple of the Heart yesterday, what we spoke of. So yeah, it's just really, it's exciting. And I feel so supported and divinely cared for. Yeah, I would highly recommend.
Yeah, and I know that Krista has the courage to go really deep, and she's going into transforming lower frequencies to higher frequencies and becoming more of the higher self that she is. It's a very exciting journey. And the last thing we want to share, and then we leave it open for a few questions if there are questions. We will also invite everyone, new or not, to our community to come to in-person retreats. So we have the Wednesday live transmissions on YouTube, Heal to Prosper. But now we want, for the first time, to do this type of retreat. We've done other type of retreats, the Heal to Prosper retreats. And it's either one day, it's an energization retreat, one day, it's just 3 hours one day. There's a second option, which is a weekend introductory retreat, that's 6 hours over a weekend, or a more intensive immersive retreat. That's going to be June the 14th through June the 21st. It's a 7-day immersive retreat. So especially for the new students or the ones joining our Wednesday transmissions, if you're courageous enough to come here to the Dominican Republic, to our vortex of energy where we have our inner temple here, and you want to go deep and accelerate your process through a lot of joy, contact with nature, silence, space, deep guidance, we invite you, okay? So you can go to our website. All the information of all that we have been sharing is on our website. If you go to the retreats, you will find the Heal to Prosper retreats. It's quite a profound experience because it's a beautiful energy vortex that we are in here. We have been building momentum of energy for many years. We moved here 5 years ago, and we started coming even before that, 2017. We started coming with groups here till we could move here in 2020. So we have worked with the grids here, and we have our inner temple here where we have a lot of momentum of healing energy, enlightenment energy. So you're all welcome to come And if you choose the intensive, that's going to be June 14th through the 21st. Yeah, so hope to see you here, especially Sacred Temple of the Heart students, okay? It's going to be a great next step. So any questions from the new ones or anyone listening to this transmission today? We're about to wrap it up. Any questions, any sharings? Rani says, thank you so much. Much appreciated today's online retreat. Sejev, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Gloria Rivers, thank you. Very helpful. Touched me deeply. That was intention, to touch your hearts. Cheryl, would you like to say something?
I have a question. It's really kind of simple. I'm kind of self-taught. I've been through an awful lot of trauma and stuff. I I've been finding my own way. I can't read. You guys are using a lot of words that I'm having trouble with and stuff. I basically just want to know that, and I can't make pictures in my head. I suffer from anxiety and PTSD. Is there enough on your website and stuff for me to be poking around and figuring out and maybe finding my way with this avenue? I've just recently found God and traditional therapy here in the US. It just isn't working for me. And I got an awful lot today. And I'm just wondering if there's stuff there, videos and not written reading content. I just want to know if you think I'll be able to find stuff there to work my way into this app.
Absolutely. So what I would recommend is that you start with a sacred breath, because you don't have to remember much. It's just you inhale to the count of 4, hold, exhale, hold. That will start a shift inside. And then maybe go to our YouTube channel, because that's all on audio video, right? And start listening a little bit to higher consciousness. And then see, ideally, if you can then join the Awaken Your Inner Healer. Though there are tools and practices you can be doing, you could just be in the experience, because in every container, you just feel the energy of the leaders there, and there's healing energy that we are activating. So just being in the container itself is very beneficial. But start with a sacred breath, YouTube, and then maybe Awaken Your Inner Healer. And take it, one step at a time. As you accumulate more energy, you'll feel more excitement to open the next door. And that's how typically it goes, right?
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, for holding space here. Thank you. Simbel, would you like to say anything in closing?
Yeah, this actually kind of speaks to that last question, that my journey within Enlightened Education really awakened me to frequency. And being aware of the frequencies that are created, the frequencies that I experience, what I create within myself. And by being in this container, it's really helped me to start identifying them and become much more aware of what I'm creating. What am I feeling? What is this? What's happening within me? And so, like, if you can't read, like, reading is a very mental thing a lot of times. Some people, like for me, I'm very mental, so it helps me process and integrate. But for other people, just to be in this space, be in these containers and continually receive the light, it's been transformative. And even today, like, these are practices I do all the time by myself. I'm very familiar with them. Yet in this container with this group, everything's elevated. And it's amazing what the power of community can do when we come together, those of us who have a similar intention. Like, just being in this presence shifts. It shifts my frequency, it shifts my vibration. So there's so much power in this community, in this collective healing. And you don't have to, you just receive. You can receive, and then you process. You process and you shift your own vibration. And then by shifting your vibration, everything else around you shifts. So yeah, I highly recommend just starting with listening to videos, being in those videos, put them on. I remember at one point I used to listen to them when I was cooking, just because I like being in the frequency. And it really helped me begin this process of starting to become much more aware, which is the first chamber of the sacred temple of the heart, is awareness. And as soon as we can get this awareness and just really, really become super attuned to it, then we can follow the next steps within the heart and these chambers in the heart. So you don't have to read. You just need to be.
And I'll share a little secret before we really end here. Why is it so important to join a course and register for a course? So of course you can come here and have 2 hours together. You can read one of our books. We have albums that we have created for our curriculums. You can go to the YouTube translations, and that's going to be fine as a first step. But let me share with you a little secret here. When you actually are with a life mentor or us, that healer or guru or guide that you have there has momentum. They have been activated in this consciousness for a couple of years, as I was saying. So you enter the field of the leader. This is divine healing. This is not linear. This is not academic, right? So you enter a force field of light, and you enter into the accumulation of energy of that leader that has gone through the process already, has gone through all the challenges of that process, has discovered something, has neutralized fears, has made higher choices, etc. So the mentor is not just giving you the teachings that you're listening to, they are giving you the merit that they have accumulated. That's the secret to accelerate. So it's very important to have a mentor, to have a guide, and also to discover the power of collective alchemy, as Simbel was saying, right? When you get into this container, we are all adding onto this container. We're all pieces of the same puzzle, right? So if you open the heart to the teachings, to the Dharma, that will transform you. It's not intellectual work, thank God. Yes, it's spiritual work. We all have spirit. We all have connection with spirit, right? So Cheryl, if you ever feel invited to go to Awaken Your Inner Healer, those 4 sessions, you don't have to remember anything. You don't have to learn anything. Just be there, show up, and be receptive to the healing that can happen, okay? Hope you make that choice, and all the ones who are here, you make that choice. Awaken Your Inner Healer. So I finish with a few comments that are lovely. Gloria is saying, thank you very much, helpful, touched me deeply. Laura says, I am interested. This was exactly what I was meant to do today. Synchronicity, right? And you want to move forward with exploring your offerings. Seeing you on Wednesdays. Diane feels divine timing for me too, Gaitana. Your energy is divinely feminine, very inspiring, so grateful. So by the way, I'm always serving with Yantal. He's next to me. We are a divine union in service to this golden age. So we hold the feminine, masculine, alpha, omega frequency. Sally's, I hope it's a pronunciation. So grateful. I felt tingles all over. Thank you so much. God bless you all abundantly. And Kina, she's a member of our community. Thank you all for opening your hearts to heal a little more every time we create more awareness of the light we hold. And with this, we finish. Thank you. You can go to the replay then back on YouTube. Love you all. Hope to see you in the rest of the courses we are offering. Okay? Bye-bye. Many blessings.